Yo, what's going on today? This is going to be a basic guide for Telos the Warden. Now, just remember that this is going to take some time to learn, and you're not going to be able to do this easily on your first attempt. But anyway, we're going to start with the inventory and gear setup. You can pretty much use augmented tectonic, augmented Virtus, that works. Any lower tier armor than 80 or 90. Probably not the best idea, but if you can get your hands on some tech or Virtus, then you should be good. I use the Bandos book, or the Illuminated Book of War. When you activate it as a scrimshaw with pages in it, it acts as a defense debuff like the Quake ability, and it lowers the defense for a short amount of time and also hits like the War Strike ability that General Gardor uses. That's very helpful. Spellcasters, also a defense debuff. Ring of Death, in case you die, save yourself a lot of money from losing a whole yak of supplies. Amulet of Souls is actually better than a Reaper because of the 10% reduction you have against prayer. When you start getting better, you can use a Reaper necklace. Now, for the inventory, I have an Overload Salve, 2 Restoration or Adrenalines. I have a Gothic Staff, which is also used as a defense debuff, and I'll show you when you're going to use that during the fight. 100 Dread Nips. You're not going to use all those Dread Nips, but I bring 100 anyway because YOLO. A Portent of Life, 5,000 Earth Runes, 5,000 Blood Runes. Just, you don't want to run out of runes because that happened, and that really sucks. 6 Restores, and then the rest is just food. Oh, and the Weapon Poison, I forgot to mention that. That actually helps. I just recently started using that, and I've noticed a huge difference. Basically, just fill your yak up with a bunch of brews and restorers, whatever you feel is comfortable. If you feel that you're going to use more food, bring more brews, but make sure that you have rock tails to be able to panic eat if you are very low on health, because brews aren't going to save you from a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Alright, for the attacks, this is basically the his auto attack ability that he uses. He can use either melee or magic if you're farther away, so just swap to the prayer's corresponding attacks that he does. Next thing you have his Telos grip, which basically it stuns you in place and starts hitting you and draining your adrenaline and your prayer. What you need to do is do a set amount of damage to break out of it. Then you have his barge attack. This can actually be blocked with both resonance, and if you can time a surge or escape well, you can block the attack. As you can see, I escape here, and I escape almost right as he does the attack to dodge it. Next you have the Hold Still Invader attack. This attack is the most important attack of the entire fight, and as you can see here, you get a massive amount of HP if you know how to time the resonance. What you need to do is anticipate before he does this attack so that you do not get stunned in place, because you will get hit for a lot of damage if you are underneath of him. He turns your prayer off and he will drop you. As you can see here though, this is how you get majority of your HP during the fight, so very, very good resonances. And if you notice at the very top, there's a blue bar. When that's filled up, that means that Telos Anima bar is filled all the way up. And then he can fire off this so much power attack, which is a green ball that hits you for a lot of damage. This attack is a spammed magic attack that happens only during phase 2. What it is wherever his adrenaline bar is, or anima, he will start firing this attack off until he completely drains the blue bar. Once it gets down to 0, he'll start hitting you with melee again. Now you have to watch out because the black beam or any of the beams can increase his adrenaline, so you want to make sure you stand in the beam so that that goes all the way down and you don't have to worry about taking a lot of damage. As you can see here, basically what you can do is after you tank all of that, you can use the Hold Still Invader attack to get your HP back. Like so. This attack is a green orb that he shoots at you, and it hits you for bleed outs until you stand near the font, and then the anima is cleansed by it. So what you need to do is just use Reflect because you want to save your resonance for that invader attack that he does. Last but not least, we have his most deadly, his instant kill attack that he fires at you on phase 5. Now note, phase 5 only takes place past 100% enrage and up, so you don't have to worry about this if you're doing lower enrage kills below 100%. To avoid this attack, you need to kill the minions near the font, near the corresponding font that the color that they are at. To activate it, as you can see, it's floating there and spinning. When he fires the attack, you want to click it to cancel it. If you do not, you will get insta-kill and you will die. Past 1000% enrage, you cannot block it with immortality. Alright, since we covered the attacks, let's jump into the fight. Okay, for phase 1, you pretty much have about 7 or 8 attacks until he starts his first special, which is the Telos grip. What you want to do is make sure you do the set amount of DPS to be able to break out of it, or he's going to lower your adrenaline and all your health, and it's going to hurt. Then he's going to start with the barge attack after about 3 attacks, and then after 3 more attacks he does his invader attack, which you can get your HP back. Basically, this is all that happens during phase 1. You want to keep him out of the beam, you want to keep breaking out of the grip. You can resonance the barge attack, but it's not recommended because then you can't heal from the invader attack, so a lot of people just escape or surge. But repeat this until phase 2 starts. Now for phase 2, pretty much the same attacks go, except he has a spammed magic attack that he can use, which, depending on what his blue bar is at, he will spam the magic attack, and he does not move when he does this attack. So if he's in the black beam and he's spamming the magic attack at you, it's going to keep getting harder and stronger against you until you eventually cannot tank it anymore, and it's just like 5,000, 6,000 hits. So to prevent this, what you do is you just stand in the beam. You do half damage, yes, but it's the easiest way to do it. Just stand in the beam, don't let him in the beam, and you know, if you have to use Cade or Devotion or whatever to block these magic attacks, basically you can just do that. Just repeat this until the phase is over. Same attacks go: Telos grip, hold still invader, and the barge attack. Oh, and he also hits you with a virus, and you have to go to the black beam to cleanse it. Now for phase 3, you do not want him standing in the red beam at all, or you can get comboed with his powerful quick attacks. To prevent this, you kill the 3 golems that spawn, which slowly make the bar rise over time, so killing them will prevent that. And then you want to surge and escape his barge attack, and then 3 attacks after that he will do the invader, and you can use that to heal, but keep him out of the beam the entire time. Okay, for phase 4, basically what will happen is, at 25% marks of his total HP, he will go to each font and charge up his animal bar with 3 different minions. Red is Volcanic, which stuns you, black is Corrupt, which breaks your armor over time, and green is Pure, which gets stronger over time until it dies. Telos will then fire an animal bomb at you. If you are not standing in the font and shield it creates around you, you will be insta-killed. Also, when he fires his green bomb, use Reflect and or Debilitate stacked to reduce his damage. Then in 3 attacks, the invader attack will happen and you can get your HP back. Repeat this at all the fonts in order from northwest green, northeast red, and finally south black. Remember the locations of these fonts for phase 5, it's very important. Also, for the second font, the northeast red, what happens when this bar fills up, he's going to fire the So Much Power attack, which is a green ball that hits you for a massive amount of damage. Again, you can use Reflect, Debilitate. If you can time your res, you can resonance it. You can use Cade for it, but one of the problems is that after he hits you with the Anima Bomb, all your defensives are on cooldown, so you don't really have a chance. You sometimes have to tank it. A lot of tactics that people use at higher enrage is they'll stun Telos, so it'll create a stall so your defensives can come back, and when your defensives are back, you can then use them to your advantage. You can also use the, I believe it's called Shield Dome on the Saren spellbook. Basically, it blocks 50%. So if you don't think that you're going to be able to do anything, just use Shield Dome and you'll take half the damage and beat up. Now, if you're 99% and below in rage, the kill is over for you, and you pretty much are done. Now, if you're 100% or higher, the kill continues to phase 5. You must complete a phase 5 kill to be able to have the trim comp rec complete, because this is the full version of the boss. This is the actual boss fight. Okay, so at the start of phase 5, he's instantly going to spawn a group of minions. You need to identify which type these are, whether they are the corrupt black, pure green, or volcanic red. Now, like I said, each of them have different abilities. The red being the ones that stun you, the black ones being the ones that break your armor, and the green ones get stronger and more powerful over time. Obviously for the red ones you want to use Anticipate or Freedom because there's going to be falling rocks that you're going to need to dodge, and I can't tell you how many times I've died to a rock falling because I didn't use Anticipate and I got stunned, or I already used Anticipate and Freedom too fast. So make sure you at least save Freedom so that if a rock comes, you're able to get away, because if you don't, you're probably going to die by that, and that really does suck, especially if you're on a streak. For the black ones, you just want to use defensive abilities. They break your armor, you know, and then the green ones, they just get powerful over time. Make sure you kill them quick. Now, for this guide, compared to higher enraged guides, you want to just drag the minions to the corresponding font. Like I said before, the green being northwest, the red being northeast, and the black being south. You want to drag the minions over there, and that's where you want to kill them. When you kill 4 of them around the font, it charges the font up. You can then use the font when he's charging his instant kill attack to interrupt it, so that you can continue the fight and not die. Now, you can use Immortality to block his instant kill attack, but it's not recommended because the amount of health that you have after you come back up from Immortality is somewhat low, and you're going to have to eat either way. So it's not recommended, although you can use it if you accidentally mess up, or if you kill the minions at the wrong font and you go, oh crap, I killed the red ones at the black font, or whatever, or I accidentally killed all of them really quickly. You can use Immortality as a backup to save yourself from losing the kill. Now, also, you're going to have to dodge falling rocks while doing this, and after the minions spawn, about 5 or 6 attacks in, he's going to spawn a virus that hits you. You want to go to the color of whatever virus you have. If you get the green virus, you want to go to the green beam to cleanse it, and vice versa. If you don't, there's a timer on your debuff bar that shows you, or your buffs and debuffs, it shows you like the timer for it, and when it gets down to 0, it'll hit you hard, so you need to make sure that you cleanse that ASAP. Now, his insta-kill attack happens when his blue bar gets all the way maxed out. He doesn't do it when it instantly gets maxed. Sometimes he usually waits a couple attacks, and I don't really know what it is exactly. I'm not that experienced at the boss yet, but what I do know is that when the bar is 100% up there, he's going to fire it somewhat soon, so you need to be ready to activate the font to interrupt it, or use Immortality if you fail. Now, tips, you want to use Gothic Staff before you DPS. You want to lower his defense. That's pretty important. That's going to make the fight a lot faster, especially phase 5. You can also Sunshine or use Metamorphosis in the red beam stacked with Adrenaline Pots, and just use Thresholds. That's really good DPS. You can Onslaught in the green beam. The only problem about that is if you don't time it right when you see the crumbling falling from the rock, where the rock's about to land, you want to make sure you do it so that you get an extended amount of time to do it without the rock falling on you, because if you just go over there and Onslaught and then you see the rock about to fall on your head, you're going to have to move. You can't tank it. I mean, it's going to hurt you, especially at higher enrages. I'm pretty sure I'm at 410 right now, and I think the rocks hit me for about 8k, 9k. So they're pretty dangerous, so you want to make sure that you dodge those at all costs. Basically, just repeat this until you hit 0 and you're done with the kill. That's it. Alright, I wish you guys the best of luck when going to fight this, and, you know, going for the Warden title if you choose to go do that. Hope this guide helped. If you need any advice at all, or you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I will answer that for you. Good luck.